Hey everybody, it's me again. So I want to clear up a few things. What is my aim with all of this? What exactly am I trying to do by making these videos? I'm going to go ahead and sum it up in one phrase. I am trying to reforge liberalism. What does that mean? I feel like in recent years, during the Obama years and all that, I feel like liberalism has kind of lost its way. So what do I mean by that? First off, I want to talk about social justice warriors. So social justice warriors have wormed their way into liberalism and kind of taken it over. And I fundamentally disagree with what social justice warriors believe because they have their concept of morality that they're trying to force onto people. And they believe in using violence and intimidation to force that along. So here's the thing, being a liberal isn't about having a certain ideology and forcing other people to accept it. Being a liberal is about essentially doing whatever the heck you want. So I think if you want to use drugs, use drugs. If you want to get an abortion, get an abortion. If you want to practice cultural appropriation. Practice cultural appropriation. If you want to go see friggin' Black Panther, even if you're white and people told you you're not supposed to because it's a movie for black people, friggin' go see Black Panther. You should be allowed to consume whatever media you want, to consume whatever items and put it into your body that you want. You should be allowed to believe whatever you want, even if those beliefs are horrible. Like if you want to be a flat earther or a white supremacist, you should be allowed to be that without any repercussions. The only stipulation is don't get violent. So don't use force against people, don't use violence against people, don't force your own beliefs down other people's throats, and honestly, other than that, do whatever the heck you want. Believe whatever the heck you want. And social justice warriors don't think that. They think, oh, we should force everyone to accept that there are 60 genders. If you want to believe that there are 60 genders, believe that. If you want to believe that there are only 2, believe that. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. And then you have these social justice warriors who are trying to tell businesses to get out of their neighborhood because maybe it's gentrification or it's cultural appropriation or whatever, which is completely ridiculous, and using death threats to do so. So yeah, so part of this reforging is to cleanse liberalism of social justice warriors by disassociating ourselves with them as much as possible. Next, I feel that most run-of-the-mill typical liberals tend to be a lot more quiet, civil, and docile, and essentially cowed than they used to be during the Bush years. So I remember when Bush was president and people were friggin' angry. There were all kinds of people saying really, really below-the-belt kind of stuff to politicians and things like that, or about politicians, and we've lost that. It's like, well, if you look at my evidence, which is in paragraph whatever of the whatever paper, you can see that my opponent is incorrect when he states this. No, be like, my opponent's a fucktard because it says right here, and he said the exact opposite thing. Shut up, So yeah, we need to be more scathing. We need to be more antagonistic, but we do not need to use force. We do not need to shove our beliefs down people's throats. So I can make my point, and the way that I say it can be kind of scathing, but I'm not going to be like, oh, you should believe this, and if you don't, I'm going to punch you in the face. No. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to use as many colorful words as I want, and then you can take it or leave it. So that's my whole point. Another thing is that I feel like a lot of liberals have completely changed a lot of what it means to be liberal in recent years. And what I mean by that specifically is issues of foreign policy and surveillance. So I remember when Bush was president, there were all these anti-war protests, people saying like even one person dying in Afghanistan or Iraq is too much. We need to repeal the Patriot Act, all this stuff. Obama became president, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're doing drone strikes. I'm just gonna look the other way. Or like I literally had a friend of mine, or not a friend of mine, a classmate of mine who was a staunch Obama supporter. Who, when I told him we needed to repeal the Patriot Act, he said, "Well, if you got nothing to hide, it's really not that big a deal." That's the same kind of stuff conservatives were saying when Bush was president. So yes, I feel like when it comes to authority, a lot of liberals are totally fine with oppressive authority if it's another liberal in power, when the whole point of liberalism is to be disrespectful to authority, to put a check on them. So that's what I'm trying to do, is reforge liberalism. So we need to be we need to be more vocal, and we need to be more less apologetic. We need to get rid of the whole concept of social justice warriors and trying to force those beliefs down people's throat. And we need to get back on track when it comes to being wary of authority. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. That's the liberalism that I envision. And I hope you guys can be along for the ride.